What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? I'm back. Did you miss me? I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. And this part of the channel is for reality shows. So, as you can see over here, we got my beautiful ladies, the Real Housewives of ATL, Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 14. Season 14. And I must say, I actually enjoyed this. I actually enjoyed this a lot. It was fun. It was fun. Yeah, I liked it. It was a fun episode. I can't tell you anything about last season. I think I watched 3 episodes from last season, 3 or 4 episodes last season. I just tuned out like most of America because from what I hear, the ratings were horrible. I'm sure pandemic had a lot to do with it. People just wasn't interested in Housewives. Let me find some music. I do this every time I get on here. I can find some music. Go like this. Let's see. Is this something we can get with? Can we get down with this? Yeah, that's a deal. That's the mic. It's not. What's this? Okay, we can do this. All right, let me get my notes. Like I said, this is a really, really good episode. It was funny. It kept me interested. It has me interested to see what's going on. We'll probably end up most likely watching the whole season because my girl is back. My girl is on there, Shereé. I think Shereé does not get the credit that she deserves to get compared to Anini or Kim Zolciak, because she also helped put Housewives on the map, especially that second season. Who won't check me, boo? But it was a good episode, so it was good to see her back. Rude is still there. He's boring to me. We have new Housewives, Sanya Richardson. I think I said her name right. So it'll be interesting to see how she does. She's a natural Jamaican. So we'll be interested to see how she does. Kenya's back. Marlo has finally gotten her peach, and Marlo's going to do Marlo. Kandi is back. Yeah, so everybody. So we got Shereé, Marlo, Kenya, Sanya, and Kandi, and they are all back. We are down to 5 girls, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll miss Anyway, so let's see. The show opens up with Kenya practicing for Dancing with the Stars with her partner Brandon Armstrong. Kandi walks in, being Kandi. Marlo walks in with this horrible wig on, but she's paying homage to Kenya. I didn't watch Dancing with the Stars when Kenya was on there, but I guess Kenya had this look, so Marlo kind of did the look that she did. So she came in and they were just talking. It was fun. It was lighthearted. Marlo starts to, so they switch over to Marlo's scene and she goes, "Hello, I'm Marlo Patricia, whatever." And I'm Hampton, and they're like, "Marlo, girl, we know who you are. Please cut it. Everybody know who you are." But I thought that was funny. You can tell that she's super excited to have something that she has worked years on. I listened to an interview last week when I was at work, and Shereé did a podcast with Carlos King, who used to be one of the producers for Atlanta Housewives, and she was saying she's happy that Marlo has her peach, and that there were some people who she thought was her friend who didn't want her to have the peach. You the judge of that one. I'm sure we know who she's love. So she's talking. Marlo started talking about her edges. I remember the season. What season was this? I think this is the season that when the pandemic had really the reunion. Yeah, the pandemic reunion. And I remember they was in China, sitting on that bus, and baby Eva was reading Marlo her rights about them edges. So Marlo went and fixed that, got that taken care of. It was pretty cool. They start talking about men. they asked Marlo about the man she was dating. Marlo kind of was like, it was boring. She didn't know what he did for a living. Uh, they start talking about we're back on this. Well, what do you do, Marlo? How do you get your money? We're back on that. They did that back in season 3, season 4, asking Marlo how she got her money. So who knows? Marlo talks about, she has a showroom called Lacar, whatever it's called. Shit, I forgot. I had to sit on the couch. I knew how to pronounce it. Now I can't pronounce the shit. We also see that she's dressing Tammy Roman. I think she was dressing Tammy for Tammy Roman's new show that's coming out on VH1. So that'll be interesting. So she's dressing Tammy. She pretty much wants her goal to be. She wants to dress everybody. She wants to get her name out there. She wants to be behind the scenes. When you see the credits, you see her and her company. She wants to dress all the stars, all the celebrities. So big ups to Marlo. You know what I'm saying? Like, do your thing, sis. She talks about, I used to date a billionaire. Baby Kenya got up and was like, "Girl, stop." And then. And then the producers, they so damn shady. So Kenya says money doesn't last forever. And then they pan the camera over to Shereé walking into the goddamn practice facility where Kenya was practicing at. I said, boy, we back to the shady cameraman, and I love it. So the OG Shereé motherfucking who gonna check me? Nah to the nah. Whitfield walks in, and they're pretty much like, we missed you. Where have you been? We haven't seen you in forever. Give us everything. Let us know everything. And they jump right into it. What's going on with you and Tyrone? And she's like, Tyrone was the guy she started talking to a couple years ago, or she was insinuating that she was going to talk to a couple years ago, but he was locked up. Now, I'm sure when I saw this 4 years ago, I probably asked myself this. Y'all remember when Nene and Shereé was down there at the restaurant tearing each other up? And there was a party that was happening. I think it was in Philly. And Nene was like, call Tyrone. No, Shereé said, let me call Tyrone because he was a event planner or something like that, and they start to argue back and forth. So I wonder if that's the same Tyrone. Maybe that probably won't come up in the reunion, but maybe so. You never know. But he's back home. He's out of jail. He's in Philly right now because he's on parole, so he can't leave out the state. She says she's going to see him twice a month. So the Kenya messy ass jumps right into it, and she's like, "Well, how was the sex?" And Shereé was like, "Quick," and everybody bust out laughing. So I like that. Everybody was getting along. It was fun. They were having a really, really, really good time. Pretty much, So Shereé was like, enough about me. Let's switch it up. Y'all getting on me. Of course, we learned that Mark is pretty much holding up the divorce. He doesn't want to, divorce her for whatever reason. But she wants to be done with him. She wants to move on with her life. We learned Kandi and Todd not having sex. Okay, they get in the bed and sleep. Turn on it. They do what everybody else in America does. They turn on the TV and they go to sleep. Andy got 1 million jobs, so just be tired. We move on to the next scene, which is Marlo and her nephews, and I actually really, really like this scene. I thought it's showing her as a Monty, which she says she's an aunt, but she raised them like a mom, but she's just more fun. And we learned that her nephews have been living with her for the last 3 years, and her sister's incarcerated. So it's good to see Marlo step up. We used to, from what we see on camera and Instagram and stuff like that, we used to see Marlo kind of being self-centered. So it's good to see Marlo stepping out and probably doing something that she would be scared to do, that all of us would be scared to do, which is take care of somebody else's damn kids. But it was really, really good to see that scene. I like that scene. It was, that it was fun. Her segment was fun. She was getting boys up ready for school. She was making them breakfast, or she was trying to make them breakfast. She was, she told the one boy, she was like, "That'll be $10.99. You can cash out this, get them ready for school, make sure they brush their teeth and things like that, took showers." So it was a really, really good scene. And then we moved on to Born as Drew and her husband Ralph. Now, like I told y'all, I didn't watch Housewives last season. I watched about 3 episodes, and then I was tuned out for Atlanta anyway. But at first, I thought Drew and her husband had a very, very good storyline last season, with him going away for 3 days and her dumbass not figuring out to call him or, leave, because there ain't no way in hell you will be gone for 3 days and I not know where you at. As simple as that. Unless you in the grave, I ain't going for that. That's just me. They're on the way to meet their friends, which we find out are four-time gold medalist Sanya Richardson and her 2-time Super Bowl championship husband Aaron Ross. I remember watching Sonya back in 2016, I think, Olympics, or 2012 Olympics, and I was like, that girl, she's good. That girl quick. I'm gonna listen to her on commentary, watching the Olympics. I love the Olympics. I love track and field. When I will watch the Olympics for swimming and track and field. I love track and field. So I really, really like this scene with them. And they do like a little competition, and Drew talking about she has a workout program, which we'll get into later. But they do like a competition race, couples versus couples, and clearly the Olympic Super Bowl couple wins. But I was like, Drew, you got this workout thing here in Atlanta, here in Chicago, here and somewhere else, but you look in the way that you look, how you look when you try to do what you try to do. And again, we learned that Drew and Ralph are having more marriage problems. What a shocker. We learned that Ralph is writing a book about relationships, I think. He has an assistant that wants to massage him. She wants to get up on him, and she wants to massage that man on down. So Drew said she saw that message. She packed up her clothes and she moved. She went to Chicago. She ran away from home. She ran away from that man. She ran away to Chicago. Moving along, Kenya's in the house. She's cooking. We see Brooklyn. Brooklyn has gotten older. Brooklyn is adorable. She's in there as Kenya. She's in there with her dance partner Brandon. And I just, Brooklyn is a beautiful little girl. Kenya is a beautiful woman. So it was good seeing. And Marlo has some chick in like these pink ruffles, like going to everybody's house with a MacBook and inviting everybody to her the archive. Oh, there it is, the archive event. And Kenya, being Kenya, was like, "Girl, I see what you were trying to do, but you should have spent some more money and should have did this, did that, blah blah." They shade each other. That's what they do. So we learned that song, so we go back to learn more about Sanya. Sanya. She's officially been in Atlanta for a year now. She used to live in Atlanta a couple of years ago when she was doing commentary for the Olympics. We also learned that her parents had come to live with her permanently. She has a 4-year-old son. I think his name was Dylan, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was his name. But he's 4 years old. The parents are coming. Let me say something. Her parents, I don't know what their age is, but her father and her mother, they look great. They look great. I won't like that when I get older. This is kind of loud. There we go. But now you can't hear it. That's gonna be too loud. All right. So you hear music and fish tank in the background. Where was I at? We learned that her and her husband have been married for 18 years. They pretty much met on campus. She seemed like I think she said she pursued him because when she saw him, she knew what she wanted. So we start to see a little bit of the tension in their marriage where he talks about, he's asking a little boy, do you want a sister? The little boy's busting out laughing. He's like, no, I want a dog. He asks Sanya, how do you feel about having a sister? Don't you love it? Because he really wants a little girl. And she was like, I hear you, but I feel like that it could cause a rift in our marriage. And then he says, it could cause a rift in our marriage if we don't have one. So we'll see. We will see. When he walked upstairs to help the son turn the TV on, she was talking to her parents like, I felt alone with the last one, with the 4-year-old. I felt alone. I felt like he wasn't there. So we'll see. We will see. I don't have kids, but I think, I think that's interesting that he's saying it could cause a rift in their marriage if they don't have one. But the thing is, though, if she does end up having a baby and getting pregnant, sir, then you got to step up and do your part because you're now on national TV. See, 4 years ago, y'all weren't around. So now you're here, you're on national TV, and I'm sure y'all want to be on this show for a couple of seasons. We're gonna be looking at you like, you got the baby, what you doing? So, but we'll see how this story plays out. We're back at Drew's house. It's a beautiful home. So they moved into their home. I remember that. I remember they were moving into a new home, so they finally moved into their new home. It's a beautiful house. She has 2 assistants in there. Assistant 1, which was standing there with a stank attitude on her face, and then assistant number 2, and assist clearly part of the community. So hey, sis. I don't know why both of them was in her house, but anyway. So Sonya, I'm gonna get her name, y'all. Sanya and Kandi come to the house. Drew was talking about, she's starting this organic line or some fitness line where the food gets delivered to your house. So she's coming to have them test the food out, and they do like health shots or whatever. And now I ain't really nobody talk about nobody weight because I definitely could be in the gym myself, but let me tell y'all something. I feel like Drew is trying to do the most this season so she can secure her spot. So this girl says, last year I was body shamed, so I went and got a mommy makeover. Now, and she said I lost 25 pounds. I don't know if she said I lost 25 pounds in 3 weeks, 3 days, 3 months, or just in total. But this girl says I lost 25 pounds. The producers, see how I'm screen to screen? The producers say, they don't say nothing, excuse me. The producers have the damn side by side of before the makeup and after the makeup. And at the top it says 25 pounds with a question. Woo! Oh, that shit was funny to me. Woo! So Sanya was pretty much like, sis, in her confessional, she was like, she ain't telling us the truth. She might have had that makeover, but she ain't been keeping up with it. So they move on and they talk about the assistant. Sanya brings up to Kandi about the assistant um, that texts Ralph. Now let me just say something because and it happened again later on in the show. But during these moments, and I get it, you know, you're trying to give somebody advice about relationships or whatever, what's right and what's not right. But it gives me that in these moments where they're talking about what he's doing and how he did this and did that, it's like he's sitting there like, yeah, what should I do? I don't know what to do. Like somebody give me advice, and it's like, what you like? Y'all gotta see it to know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so they move on, and they talking about the assistant. Candy's trying to figure out like, what do you mean he texted her? You know what? You know, oh that shit not right. He comes in because clearly he was eavesdropping. He comes in and is like, what are y'all talking about the story? And then he starts to explain the story like, you know, my back was hurting and I told her and you know, she was like, oh, I'm gonna get you a masseuse and because you know my back was hurting, so she said she didn't get me a masseuse. And she wasn't because you know my back was hurting. She wasn't going to do it. She was going to get somebody because my back. You know, I'm just a guy. My back was hurting. I'm thinking to myself, what? Oh, what? What? So I'm like, I'm confused. They confused. She's sitting there like, oh, you know, we're not talking about you. She's sitting there looking stupid. I was looking stupid. Kandi and saying you're looking stupid. Because we trying to figure out what the fuck is this man talking about his back. So this season storyline looks like it's gonna be about the assistant and his back hurting. So, but Kandi and Sanya was doing more getting into Ralph than Drew was. So I'm like, whatever. It's the day of the archive event. Marlo and Shereé are on the phone. Everybody gets to the event. They are confused because they just see mannequins. Mannequins. They see mannequins with fashions that Marlo says she bought, but where did you buy them from? Like, where did you get J Lo's Grammy dress from that she wore in 1999 or 2000? I'm sure J Lo still has that in a storage unit somewhere. So, well, Marlo is a scammer, allegedly, from what the people say. So, Marlo. Um, um, so everybody's confused. So so Shereé enters and she's you know she walks over, she gives everybody a hug, some people she knows. It's her first time meeting Ralph and Drew, and she gives them a hug and she says, you know, I heard so many things about you guys, and Ralph says, I hope all good things. This is this is what shady ass Shereé does. She says, she says, yes, of course. She goes into this. Woo! When I tell you, when I first of all, when I saw the clip the other day, I was hollering. So Kandi quickly switches that and says, "Where's Marlo?" And it's like 8:35. Marlo's still back there getting dressed. She talk about, can we take a break? They like, no. Kenya comes in, she's still upset from her eliminated from Dancing with the Stars. She comes in, she's like, I want some food. She reading the event down. Drew is trying her hardest to be Kenya's friend. She goes over to, can I walk you to the bar? Because I just feel like last year, we just didn't get off on a good foot. I think you're a wonderful person, and I just want to be your friend, and all of these wonderful things. And can we please be friends? Because I'm obsessed with you, and I just want to be your friend. And I'm like, girl, you doing the most, but okay. So she wants to be Kenya's friend. Her Kenya's like, sure, we can start over. We can do a refresh. And he was like, how did you delete my number? Sheree's like, all right, we'll never save. So we'll see how that relationship goes on. So we learned this event is pretty much an event where Marlo is showing off dresses that people can rent from her for like thousands of dollars a day. True wants to put her order in for some clothes, and Marlo says, when was your last gig? You still in the industry? Kenya brings up a good point about, saying, some stuff is missing. The marketing is missing. Like there's no people, there's no models walking around. Nobody's walking around saying, look at this. This. It's just nothing was there. I don't even think there was like any. I don't want to say price tag, but there's like nothing saying like how much this was, how much that. We knew how much it was because production told us, but nobody else was seeing that. So Kenya brought up a very good point about Marlo's event. I just feel like Marlo wanted to just put some clothes on the mannequin and say, hey, let's film. Child, this was the funniest fucking moment of the whole show. Whoa, one of the funniest moments. Marlo comes out in this damn dress, and Shereé ass gonna say, this is what Shereé says out of her mouth. Shereé says, child, what does Marlo have on? She over there looking like the candy that my grandmother used to give me to stay quiet in church. Y'all remember those strawberry candies that was wrapped with the green on top? And baby, when I tell you I was weak, I put the TV on pause. I was weak. Weak. You hear me? I was weak. Boy, I love me some damn Shereé. They are reading this event. Sanya and Shereé walk over there to Marlo. Pretty much, was like, what's going on with this event? Telling her what the girls say. Marlo goes back over there and she directly goes at the Kenya first, which I was like, you should have said something to everybody. Well, she does, but she directly went for Kenya first, which I was like, okay. But we started to see the small little rift start to happen between them. Marlo is pretty much saying, I'm disappointed. She's calling people bitches. She's cussing. Kenya's like, why are you cussing? Why are you talking to us like this? Marlo's like, I'm disappointed. They're pretty much dogging her event, so I get why she would be mad, but like, girl, everybody was confused, including the viewers. Marlo tells Drew such an easy fucking read. Marlo tells Drew, I wouldn't expect you to understand this, honey. He's like, oh wow, Marlo, that's what we're doing. I'm like, girl, shut this dumbass up. And then she's like, the money girls, what does y'all have to say about it? And while they're talking, because Sonya's like, I said something. Sheree's like, I said something. King's like, I said blah blah blah. Marlo gets up and walks behind Drew, and Drew got like a French roll, and she's like, a French roll? I had a French roll 50 years ago. And Drew was like, Like you said, get dressed up for your event. King of Reads her says send them fashions back to pack them fashions up, send them all to FedEx and LeBay. That's pretty much the end of the episode. The episode goes off, and I must say, I really, really enjoyed this episode. That damn Shereé is a fool. You hear me? Shereé is a fool. So this first episode did what it needed to do. At least for me, it got them introduced. It took us back to when they had fun, when it be like a little shade here, but when they had fun and things like that. So, and one thing we know about Miss Marlo, she won't talk about that money. So, yeah. So I'm interested to see what happens moving forward. And yeah, we back, baby. We back. So I will be reviewing Housewives. I will be reviewing Beverly Hills. I will be reviewing the new series Love and Marriage DC. I will be reviewing Basketball Wives. I don't know if I'm gonna be consistent with it, but I'm gonna review Basketball Wives. Weekend sessions will be back Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get along for this ride. I'm at like 5 subscribers away from 200. Let's like, comment, and subscribe. Give me your thoughts. Tell me what you thought about tonight's episode, and I will see you all next week for Real Housewives of ATL season 14. Deuces.